Welcome everyone. This is going to be a guide for PvP, and I'll be doing this live on stream. So if you hear any pop-ups or see any pop-ups, it's because of that. As you can see, there's the Twitch number right there. How many people are watching? Yeah, wanted to do this one live on stream. I already did one before. I think it was TVT live on stream. It went well, so might as well do another one. This time TVP. A lot of people are struggling in TVP. So I'm going to show you something something not as common. I mean, some people are going to be like, well, I do that every game, but that's fine. But for most people, this will not be all that common. So what you want to do is instantly send out your SCV across the map, and you will be proxying a barracks. So this is a very aggressive opener that can potentially do a little bit of damage, and then if the Protoss doesn't react well, you can end up killing the Protoss very early on. This build will transition very smoothly into 2-base all-in. So even if you don't manage to kill him with the early harassment or the follow-up, you have this full-on 2-base push to finish the deal. So the barracks, I'll proxy it here on this map, but proxying barracks depends from map to map. Usually you want to proxy it at places like this one, but if I would play against GM Protosses, they would probably wall that off, so the Reaper wouldn't be able to jump in. Just proxy it somewhere close to the enemy base, that it wouldn't get scouted, but it's close enough that your Reaper can actually arrive kind of quick. Now behind this, I'm going to do fast second refinery as well. This was a gas first build. And the reason why I'm getting second refinery is because I'm going to be building a factory back at home. Produce some cyclones, get the starport, and I'll just try to explain to you guys the transitions and when and why you should build certain things. Now the barracks finishes, so what you want to do with the SCV, just scout around the Protoss base. You'll see if he expanded, if he's on one base, how many gates he has, if he started any tech, and so on and so forth. So usually in these kind of situations, Protosses will cancel out their natural base because they see that you're proxying. So what you want to be doing when you see that is the moment Reaper pops out, you want to actually land the barracks on the natural. So once they defend your Reaper, they need to kill it to expand. So you're going to be delaying their expo by a very, very long time. Now with this Reaper, you want to avoid the Zealot. Just go straight for probes, micro your heart out, and just try to kill as many probes. Now, I'm going to let this Reaper just die because, you know, it's a build order guide, not a micro guide. Behind this, let's assume that your Reaper is still going around the map in their base and stuff. You want to try to keep it as alive for as long as you can, just to be able to get enough scouting. Make sure to see how many pylons are in Protoss base, if there's a chance he's proxying and stuff like that. You want to follow it up with 3 Cyclones. 3 Cyclones is a very good number. It will deflect any kind of early aggression or oracles. And at this point, if you lost your Reaper, Protoss will probably be working on this barracks. So I'm going to pause right here. This is what a lot of people are doing wrong. Like I said, some people probably are doing this build, but a lot of people are doing the transition extremely wrong, which is this point right here. So assuming that Protoss is trying to kill the barracks so he can expand right now, what you want to do is send your Cyclones across the map and just kind of poke back and forth, you know, force them to make stalkers, force them to make shield batteries maybe. And, you know, if you see they have no units, you might as well, you can just kill them. Now, the Reaper staying alive is very important. The reason for that is it is super crucial, and this will depend, it will depend how you transition based off of your scouting with the Reaper. Now, if your Reaper dies and you see absolutely nothing, like it died too early to a Zealot, like you went full potato and you lost it, what you can do is just use your barracks to scout, deny the natural for, you know, a minute and a half, and then just lift up the barracks, go into the main base, and you'll see either Twilight, Robo, or the Stargate. Now, what happens next is how you should be transitioning what I was mentioning earlier. So you always want to pressure unless there's a Stargate, then you want to, stay back and defend the Oracle. When your starport finishes, no matter what you see, you're going to go for Tech Lab on the starport. And after scouting his tech, you're either going to be going Raven or you're going to go Cloak Banshee. I was going to say Banshee with Cloak, but then I said Cloak Banshee, so I finished that. So the way it goes is like this. If he goes Robo, you go Raven. There's no point to go Cloak Banshee. He has Observer, so, it's a crap investment. And you also want the Raven to kill his observers.
I can't see the red dots. Like, I just couldn't see half the red dots on the map. I see no red dot. There's no red dot. There's actually no red fucking dot.
This is pre-recorded and Beastie loses this game versus a very easy AI build. Order is bad. Beastie Kappa.
So, if the Protoss goes for Robo, you want to have Raven to kill the observers, to deflect any kind of counter push. The Raven will also give a lot of strength to your army, and you can also use the interference matrix on the War Prism so that it can't, drop units, warp in, or whatever else. So the Cloak Banshee is a no-go. If you see Stargate and if you see Twilight, you want to go Cloak Banshee. Twilight, obviously, he's not going to have detection, so going Cloak Banshee is the right choice. You're going to put some pressure on the front. And if you go Stargate, some people might think that going Cloak Banshee to Stargate is not that good because they have Oracles and Phoenix. But what you will be doing is forcing the Protoss to make at least 2 Oracles, Phoenix, and staying back with all that air army because of the Banshees. This also allows you to be very, very aggressive with your Cyclones. So, for example, sometimes what will happen is Protoss will take their 3rd as their natural. And what you can do then is, assuming he goes Stargate, you can attack the 3rd with 3 Cyclones, and if he goes there to defend with the air units, you send the Cloak Banshee to the main base. If you send the Cloak Banshee to the main base, he's going to be, stuck with that, and then you can kill the Nexus on the 3rd pretty quickly, because he won't really have enough units at that point. Now, that's how you should transition with the starport units. I suggest making 2 Banshees maximum, maybe add a Raven as well, because Raven, we're going to follow this up with a 2-base push, and Raven is always, always good, especially for the missiles that are going to reduce the armor by 3 on the Protoss units. And, yeah, if you play against Robo, just going for 1 Raven is good, and then you can follow it up with maybe a Viking to chase down the observers or war prisms or, whatever else. Now, let's resume. So I'm going to go Tech Lab, and just like I was explaining, at around this time, let's say my Reaper died, I'll just lift the barracks, go into the main base, and try to get that follow-up scout to see what tech he's going for. And now, what I just explained with which buildings you should go for, or Cloak Banshee or Raven, you scout, let's say it's Robo, I'm going to go for a Raven. Actually, no, let's go for Cloak Banshee. Because Cloak Banshee is more aggressive and it has, more things to be explained. Forgot the supply depot because I'm a potato. Now, this is why this build I think is really, really good. The reason for that is the Cloak Banshee Cyclone combo. So no matter what he went, the Protoss is going to struggle a little bit to defend this, which you guys will see very, very soon. After the 3rd Cyclone, get a Tech Lab and build 2 more barracks back at home, because you slowly want to start building up your Marine count for that big 2-base push. Now, as you can see, everything is delayed compared to the normal game, but it's fine, because the Protoss tech is also extremely, extremely delayed, because of all the pressure putting on him, denying the natural, killing some probes early on, and so on. Gonna go Siege Tank. And this is the... let me get this probe. Come here, AI. This is the thing I was talking about earlier. So, if you went Stargate, he has an option. If you go here, and he pulls all of his units, you just cloak the Banshee and go into the main base. And if he goes back for the Banshee, you just kill the Nexus. It's as simple as that. You have a 2nd Banshee on the way as well. And that's how you would pretty much execute this, like, mini push. Now, if he loses the Oracle, you know, by going across the map and just dies into your Cyclones, the game should be pretty much over, because even if he remakes the Oracle, he actually won't have Phoenix, so he won't have the units to kill the Banshee with. He can warp Stalkers, but he's gonna be seriously out of money because he would be on one base this whole time. Now, what I'm doing back home right now is I'm getting a tech lab and one reactor on the barracks, because you want to start your stim and you want to start your marine production, get orbital on the natural, make a bunker, and from here on out, eventually you want to add +3 barracks, so you're going to be on 5 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport, with 1 Raven, of course. No matter what option you decide to go for, by the way, always go for a Raven. It's extremely good, it's extremely valuable, and there's no reason not to make it, pretty much. It will also keep you safe against DTs. So, I'm going to forget about these Cyclones for now. Make a bunker. Add more barracks. One siege tank is usually what you want to have. That's another thing that depends on your scouting. So if you saw Twilight Tech and he's going for a lot of Blink Stalkers, you can get a second siege tank. But if you saw that he's going Stargate, obviously siege tanks are not good against Stargate because siege tanks can just get lifted. So one siege tank is fine to defend yourself against any kind of adept counterattack or something weird. And if he's committing heavily into, you know, aggression, then just make like 1 or 2 more siege tanks and you'll be good to go. Now let me kill this. I actually can't kill my own units with lockup. Okay, today I learned. Once the more barracks are done, swap them out to the add-ons, and from here on out, I'm producing Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, and the Widow Mines. Oops. Gonna start my shields as well. And yeah, once you reach 17 SCVs in the main and 16 on the natural, you want to stop your SV production and you want to start transitioning to something else. Now these Banshees and Cyclones, they're usually going to end up dying at this point because no one has perfect micro. But if you save them, you know, even better, because you're going to have stronger push later on. Especially if you save up Cloak Banshees, you can end up, you know, just killing observers and then him having no detection. But remember, with this build, the whole point of the build is to just keep your opponent busy and just kind of keep poking, keep attacking until you eventually hit that big 2-2 timing, which is when you go for the kill. So don't overcommit. If you see that he has an immortal, don't try to like push in with the Cyclones. You're gonna lose that fight. So just do as much damage as you can without actually taking losses. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Army is building up, still stim is almost done. Usually want to start moving out when stim is about 70-80% done, so that by the time you get to his base, stim is completed and you can just instantly engage. I'm a little bit late on that because playing and making the guide is sometimes challenging for me. And another important thing is, after you get 4 medevacs, don't produce more, start producing reactor liberators, because 4 medevacs for 2 base army is kind of all you need. And yeah, the way you want to be engaging is simply siege up your tank, put some Widow Mines, spread them out a little bit like this, and then you can bait Protoss to attack your army. And if his army is like completely clumped up like this, just Seeker Missile the unit in the middle so that all the units get the armor debuff and you can kind of just slay the Protoss. Another thing that I see people make mistake of, they often push too slow. So this is how you should be pushing, but that doesn't mean just wait here till the end of the game. You know, you gotta just do this and just keep going forward. You can't just like stay back and wait forever, because the more time you give to the Protoss, the more units they're gonna get. Maybe, you know, upgrades are gonna finish for them or whatever else. So yeah. that's pretty much it. Oh, the barracks is still alive. That is pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but that's pretty much how you execute the build. Now, it might take some getting used to because the build is not really, you know, a normal build. It's some people see it as an all-in, but it's not really an all-in. It's just a build where you put a lot of pressure on your opponent very early on. You sacrifice your own economy, but the best part about this build is because of the barracks, you block the Protoss natural. So even if they kill your Reaper, they cannot expand instantly, and it can happen that you actually start your natural faster than the Protoss. So it's very important that you scout with your Reaper or the barracks, see what the Protoss is doing, do those transitions that I mentioned earlier. If you see them being aggressive, just make more tanks. But or don't, you know, overmake them. Don't make like 5 tanks. If you see aggression coming, 2, maybe 3 tanks maximum. With the bunker, you should be able to hold, you know, whatever is coming your way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know in the comments below what kind of guides you would like to see next. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out one of my previous videos. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.